ام سي تعالي لا اسمعني هذا كامل بابتي لا عاد راب شو بيس هذه ما شقتي صنعت كاع التاكسي دور لا تفهمني ايراني والله كوري هذا كامل سياني قول لي اسكي نمبر 1 هو اسمي شو بيس نو هذه ما شقتي ايو شك ما يصلي هلا انا جبرين نفري ستايلي معاك كيمي كويزي على وري الحسني اوكي ام سي دونك شفتني بشي نمبر 1 هو اسمي
Ladies and gentlemen, AMI members, online audience, dear listeners, welcome to a new episode of the unprecedented podcast Friday Pulse. Friday Pulse today is special in terms of subject and context. It's going to raise some questions about the issue of festivity and entertainment in Mauritania. It's undeniable fact that in our society, the routine has replaced the old traditional means of entertainment, which has vanished because of the displacement and migration to the city. The city, in contrast with desert, has imposed its own ways of life, including music, dress, and inspiration. In our society, there are no places, no public spaces where families or common people can go to entertain themselves in attempt to break the killing routine of life in the homestead atmosphere. This routine has been considered the reason why the upcoming young generation is responding immediately now to the hip-hop festival in Nouakchott. The Mauritanian youth aspire to change the routine and create their own way of life within a rigid and stagnant society. The ongoing hip-hop festival has been a great success and it's inspiring many young Mauritanians. Our questions for today range from the attraction of hip-hop bands to the young Mauritanian, the occasionality of entertainment in our society, and the traditional music as a means of entertainment. The first question is, why do hip-hop bands attract Mauritanian youth? Mohamed Yahya.
Hip-hop is now a fashion in Mauritania. Many bands started to gain ground. Hip-hop is a type of music that implies to many liberty and revolution. Many youth are revolting against the aspects of the traditional life, so they needed a sort of music that can reflect the revolution. And we know that youth are revolutionary by nature. At the same time, dozens of hip-hop bands here in Mauritania began to shed light on diverse local issues, using simple words of the local dialects that everybody can understand. This policy made out of hip-hop a tool to criticize mentalities and even sometimes to challenge the political decisions, namely that hip-hop is no longer an imported lyrics and rhythms that young people listen to, but a way to convey messages to a large group of the nation. For instance, in recent years, the Mauritanian hip-hop band Oulad Blad has become famous by addressing local issues in a blend of Western music and traditional styles. The group has attracted many young fans. The band, whom I interviewed several times, is against singing for or praising anyone, as this is against the values of the liberating revolutionary character of hip-hop music. They see themselves as the voice of the modern people of Mauritania and not the voice of certain individuals. Oulad Blad choose their own lyrics, especially those which will honestly carry the meanings of the topic to be addressed, and which will be understood by everyone. Therefore, most of their songs up till now call for boosting the values of citizenship, caring for the poor, the need to clean the streets, etc. They are often invited to national events in order to raise compatriots' awareness. As a result, hip-hop bands have attracted the Mauritanian youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohamed Yahya, for your answer. Now the second question is to Mohamed Bouya. The question is Mauritanian entertainment an occasional?
Thank you very much, Ali Sheikh, for the interesting question. Mauritanian society cannot live without entertainment. Music and dancing are not new to Mauritania, but these activities are linked to other activities that are most of the time occasional. For example, marriage is a rite in which people are free to dance and listen to music publicly. However, Mauritania started to experience international and local festivals. These kinds of festivals have great fans, but they need big budgets. That is why most of them are only organized for commercial reasons, and they are also occasional. Election campaigns are also an occasion for Mauritanians to dance and to listen publicly to music. And as you know, they are also occasionals. Mauritanians only have presidential, municipal, and legislative campaigns to occasionally entertain themselves. Mauritania do not have a fixed national music festival. Mauritanians do not have a place where they can entertain themselves when they want to. That is why international festivals have great fans who spend most of their time watching them on TV and waiting for them a year after year. What entertainment is to youth, water is to the desert dweller. And thank you.
Thanks, dear Muhammad Buya. And the last question is to Abdul Muntalib. Do traditional music entertain Mauritania?
Thank you. Mauritanians had always been influenced by music in the past as well as at the present. Mauritanian griots had composed popular amazing tunes and songs that used to be the main source of entertainment at the time. Le Chouar and Lausanne and the traditional dances were so prevalent and enjoyable. In the 80s and 90s, Mauritanian youth began enjoying the modern world music, such as jazz, slow, rock, and hip-hop. They were obsessed by the new wave of musicians to the point that the death of the king of pop, Michael Jackson, was a shock to many of his Mauritanian fans. Some were crying and mourning his disappearance. It's worth mentioning that nowadays, we have two different generations. The elder generation that still look at the traditional music with its authentic instruments, tidinit and dardin, as the best and finest music. And the younger generation that prefers the modern music as a sign of promotion and sophistication. And they look at it also as an adherence to the world around them. This unprecedented Mauritanian youth openness on the Western music made the local associations that defend the traditional music to organize local competitions like Al Badda', the annual festival of the traditional poetry, and recently Naqma al-Dhahabiyya, or the Golden Tone, to attract the youth attention to the local music. I'll conclude by a very positive phenomena that I noticed, which is Mauritanian youth, regardless of their communities or the communities they descend from, Moorish, Pular, Soninke, or Wolof, enjoy and interact with the world modern music as well as their traditional music and the musicians as a part of their cultural heritage. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Online audience, dear members, we hope you will entertain yourselves with this episode of Friday Pulse. Till another occasion, this is me, Ali Sheikh, wishing you all the very best.
بالك شو كمية جبريل شوف له فلو شوف له فيلينج شوف له ستيل اللي بغا يقرا اللي بغا يقبل